Hey guys. Alright, so it's currently a Wednesday. It is 8:54 p.m. and I just got done working on some prospects, and I wanted to make one video before I end the night. And on my list of videos I want to make, one of them is debunking clickbaits. So I was trying to look for some that people have made back in 2021, 2022, 2023 and compare what they said versus what actually happened, and do a analysis and proof that these people are literally just trying to use fear and get views. But as I'm looking for these videos to compare what they said versus the statistics, I came across this video, this guy, Brian, Clear Value Tax, and he's talking about Graham Stephan's housing market crash clickbait needs to stop. His channel, and yeah, it's just nothing but clickbait. He's been saying the same shit clearly for years, but I've never watched his videos. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch this guy Graham's videos that does all the clickbait and just do a raw reaction. And the most recent one is renting versus buying a home, what nobody is telling you. Got my word for it on the rocks. I'm ready to watch this fool make an ass out of himself.
Buy $1 million home, you would have to put $200,000 down, take out a mortgage, $5,600 a month, pay another $1,000 a month in property taxes, insurance, and maintenance for a grand total of $6,600 a month. Or you could just rent an identical home for $3,900.
Okay, first of all, who's buying $1 million home? I mean, yes, there's certain areas in the United States where houses, is very expensive, but typically your income is in relation to...
No idea how controversial saying something like this would be. So I reposted it on Instagram and I got a video. In most cases, lenders require that you put down anywhere between 10 to 20% of the purchase price to get approved for the loan, which could often amount to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Usually ranges...
Okay, so he's saying at minimum 10% down. Well, that's assuming you are doing a conventional loan. There is FHA loans that does not have PMI, and I typically assume that a buyer is going to use their FHA loan if they're renting, looking to purchase, because why would they're not using a conventional loan. The only time I've really used, or the only time my clients have used a conventional loan is when they're selling their current one and using the equity from that into the next one. So little often do I have first-time home buyers use a conventional loan. They either have a lot of money saved up and the numbers make sense to go the conventional route, but he's talking also about the mortgage interest rate, which, yes, we got spoiled with, the 3 and 4%. Rates fluctuate, but it's not to the point where it should deter you from, or it's not to the point where it should scare you into not buying, because you could just always refinance.
It's anywhere between 0.5% to 2% of your mortgage.
It's not appraised. The city drives by and assesses it. It's not appraised. It does not go based on your appraised value.
Adds up. Which is $1,500.
Okay, so I will share this with you. So I just had a buyer close on a house April 19th with a VA loan, which means they put 0% down. They bought it for $370. Their interest rate lock-in was 6.625%. So with monthly principal and interest, that brings their total to $23.69 and 15 cents. And estimated escrow for property taxes altogether, that's going to be $27 a month. Okay, so their total monthly payments $27.23 a month. And the closing costs that was required to close for the buyers, which is your title and lender fees, was around $14,000. They only had to bring $8,500 to the table. I got, I think, $5,000. Let me see. Yep, seller credits. I got $5,000. So the seller, I negotiated $5,000 for the seller to pay to go towards the buyer's credit. And I also got a 2-year home warranty because the HVAC was so extremely old. But I did get the seller did replace a water heater after we did the home inspection. So they got closing costs, a home warranty, and a brand new water heater. The only thing that they didn't get was a new HVAC system, but that warranty will cover it. Let's say you didn't have a VA loan. Okay, for $370 with 3.5 down, 30 years, interest rate. Right now, currently, I asked my loan officer, he said it is around, 6.8 to 7, so let's just say 6.9. Annual taxes with this house was... Annual tax was $26.80. Yep. They do have an HOA of $47 a month. Calculate. Yeah, so that would be roughly around a $12,000 payment and around $3,000 a month in a mortgage. Okay. Let's continue to
dollars a month less without tying up $40,000 as a down payment and without locking yourself into a property that costs you 5 to 6% to sell. Now, I get it. I'm sure it's around this point of the video. If you buy
I wonder how many rentals this motherfucker owns.
And then you pay nothing.
Probably a lot. That's why people like using fear, because they want it all for themselves.
You'll have only gained about $3,600.
All it takes is the right agent and loan officer.
$304 a month, which is wait until about year 20, at which point it starts to become a break even. Like, just consider,
as long as you maintain your property, you start seeing equity after 3 years.
$3,643 a month, tie up $40,000 as a down payment, and slowly pay off the mortgage over time. Or option 2 is that you could rent a house for $2,100 a month, invest $40,000 in the market, and continue saving and investing $1,500 a month from the money that you're...
Oh, he's vouching for the stock market?
Over $600,000 in cash, which would likely be enough to buy a home outright in cash when you're done renting. On the other hand, if you purchased a property... we do see where
so you're recommending people to stay in their lease.
That, of course, doesn't mean that landlords aren't raising rents at all, because they found that 75% as more homeowners just become landlords in it.
There is nothing wrong with renting. Absolutely not. If you need to work on your credit, save your money, or you're moving state to state and you're in the military, or you're always, although even if you are like moving state to state and you're in the military, you can always rent it out, because there's always a reason why people need to rent. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you are in a position to buy, no matter what the rates are or the cost of a house is, that is what refinancing is for. That's what negotiations are for. And these people just love, and they love feeding you guys bullshit. Okay, I'm ready for the next one. I think that's a no-brainer. At least I know I was reading the comments and it looks like everyone has... Apparently he deleted a video.
Tired of navigating
Everyone keeps commenting about that.
There is a reason we use batch dialer.
How people used to have respect for him. He's got 4 million subscribers, so
what's up, Graham?
he must have been on a good track, and then saw the dark side.
Even though I didn't think it could actually be possible, a new survey just found that 90% of millennial homebuyers have regrets about their first home purchase. And unlike previous years, I have a feeling these regrets will only continue to happen, especially with the housing market facing an affordability crisis, an inventory shortage, and record high mortgage rates that makes everybody wonder, is buying a house
increasing
even worth it in
because
2024?
we're finally catching up on our supply and demand.
What's happening, why so many home buyers now regret their home purchase, what you could do to make sure you don't lose money, and then finally,
2008.
15 minutes could easily save you a lot of money and a lot of headache if you just pay attention.
What is this guy?
Although before we go into that, if you find this video helpful, all I ask in return is that you hit the like for more demand, causing prices to go even higher. This is why a whopping 83% of people surveyed said that now is a bad time to buy a home, and 60% said that it's a good time to sell.
Only will I pay for you.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here.
Alright,
So I think it's about
listen to
time
this
that we
guy.
address something that probably a lot of you have recently considered, and that would be, when is the next housing market crash actually going to happen? After all, home prices have just recently hit yet another all-time high in November after rising for 10 straight months. More and more Americans...
So home prices have went up, and that's because the buyers are willing to purchase it. Pre-qualified buyers taking out a loan and are willing to increase the purchase price.
...to rush back into the housing market with...
This guy is worth about $22 million, and he's making videos on how he owns 6 rental properties in Los Angeles and San Bernardino County. Makes $6 million a year from YouTube. Jesus. He makes $80,000 a year from his YouTube, $15,000 from his rentals, sponsors $7,000, real estate commission $8,000. His second channel $9,200. Oh, is he selling coach? Is he selling his like coaching services? Because there's like close to 30 grand per month on Teachable, which I'm assuming is like coaching and teaching services. Apparently he only spends $5,000 a month, so makes a lot of money. Doesn't mean that's literally every 2 months. It's always why home prices haven't crashed ... yet. The worst housing crash just started a year ago. But then he goes, make $1,000 per day washing windows. It's like he wants you guys to do middle class work, all while investing in stocks, Bitcoin. I don't know. Really, like every 5 videos. It started. Housing prices are collapsing 1 year ago. How to use a 2023 market crash to get rich. He's talking about like sell everything too. It's weird. It's like sell everything but wash windows and buy into stocks that just pay you $100 a day in dividends. And the freaky truth about Shiba. And then it's a chart of 2021 just declining. 2 years ago, how the stock market will crash. Oh my gosh.
What's up, Graham? It's Guys here. So here's the deal. It's no surprise that right now the real estate market is absolutely ridiculous. We're seeing some of the highest prices on this quote, be greedy when others are fearful, is pretty much the exact opposite of what's happening right now. Well, buyers are practically foaming.
Don't take advice from someone who just flips the script that quickly, especially if you're an investor in real estate, whether you just buy or hold on to it or, resell it as profit. But yeah.